This is Amber Smith from the In Due Season podcast. Welcome back to the next episode. This series we're going to talk about Sunlight Curriculum and their Eastern Hemisphere Explorer, which is found in the HBL or History, Bible, and Language Arts F. I want to talk about why now is the best time to study China in our homeschool. Now, why we take a year-long focus on the Eastern Hemisphere is an important topic I want to discuss today. Sunlight's HBLF is no skipping stone when it comes to the place where 2/3 of the world's population resides. It's a year-long curriculum that students go deeper than ever in their study of China and the incorporated Eastern Hemisphere Explorer Project Guide. Now, this notebook was created to facilitate the Eastern Hemisphere Explorer research project that will have them gathering facts about each country that they explore along the way. Now, this is the year that we build depth and breadth to the foundations laid in the previous HBL's History, Bible, and Language Arts course that we took in the beginning of our school, World Cultures, all the way back in first grade. My kids are begging for us to use the China kit, which includes calligraphy, rice paper, chopsticks, and domino cards for them to learn a game. This is a way that we can add a hands-on component to our homeschool experience. Now, this year we added another layer of learning with the hands-on history kit for World Cultures from Sunlight Curriculum. This is a new product that they've added to give more hands-on learning to people who desire that as an added component in their homeschool. Now, this kit wasn't around when we used HBLA, which was World Cultures. Now, with this group of students, since they're on the younger end of the recommended spectrum, I knew I wanted to add some creative activities for them to use, as well as the China kit for my older students. Now, if you have older students, you might choose a coordinating elective package or something else to supplement those activities. These are really intended for younger children, probably up to 12. I know my 11-year-old loved doing the activities in the box, and my 8-year-old had no trouble doing them completely on his own. But really, can you be too old to make your own dragon? Well, I don't think so. Now, the Eastern Hemisphere begins in China, and then it moves out to the rest of the Asian continent, through the Middle East, Africa, and then follows down to the South Pacific, ending in a study on Antarctica. The book follows you through each different location and population, giving you facts about their history, their country, what the development was, the people groups, languages, and other facts that are relevant to each place that we study. We really enjoyed rediscovering The Great Wall of China, the beautifully illustrated book by Leonard Fisher that we had read in Core A back in first grade. This is a fun time to rediscover some of the books that we touched upon in the past and then add layers of learning with the new books that we have in Core F today. But why is the study of China timely right now? Well, early in 2020, China was at the top of every news story. As shutdowns from the COVID-19 outbreak began, we looked to China for vital first information and responses to the sickness. Now, our children were seeing newscasts of empty streets, of towns and cities they had never heard of before. The problem was that this context was couched in the fear of a dangerous and unknown sickness. Now, as adults, it's easy to rapidly move from one news story to the next without changing gears. This influx of news snippets and bold headlines are constantly reshaping our worldview under the surface. We combat this side with the facts that we already have stored in our mind. But using the Eastern Hemisphere Explorer this year to study China, we help our kids take the helm and we intentionally begin to shape our children's view of parts of the world they cannot see and have not been yet introduced to. Imagine a television screen, empty streets, crowded open markets, massed populations, fear. This is not the last view of China any child should have to build an opinion on. China is a vast, diverse land where nearly 20% of the world's population lives right now. The longest recorded history of human civilization happens to be in the Eastern Hemisphere. Hundreds of cultures and people groups live within the boundaries of China. Through the Eastern Hemisphere Explorer, we are introduced to a small sampling of them, and we get to witness how they live, their uniqueness, their heritage and cultures. The names in these books and places on this map become smiles and smells of food and mothers and fathers, things that are familiar to our children. This is the connection I want them to have with the other side of the world, not fear and the unknown. This is one way that we're creating cultural awareness with stories and dialogue. What I love about Sunlight's Eastern Hemisphere Explorer is this core F offers over 40 readers and read-aloud books covering history, Bible, and language arts. That's 40 opportunities to meet life-changing characters, hear their stories, their struggles, their triumphs. Story is a powerful agent that has survived throughout every era. We're talking about people groups whose spoken history is the way that they gave their stories to their children and their children's children. That through every era has survived to convey a human history to the next generation. This is the history that we've built on today. As we listen to our stories, we listen to color, culture, and the differences between us begin to fade. Our children hear the commonality of mankind. With our own hands, we begin to experience what we discovered on the pages of these books. When we use the filmy rice paper to explore the study of Chinese art and calligraphy, when we create our own haiku, we're touching cultures and worlds that maybe we're not able to travel to, but we can get a taste of connection through using this HBLF together. Now the entire human narrative is being lived out on the other side of the world as we sleep over here on our side. Families on both sides are hungry. In another city far away, cruelty is opposed. Oppressors are defeated. Defeat is turned into triumph. When our characters struggle in the stories we read, our children empathize with the experiences they're having. When they rise up, we cheer. We hear from around the world that there are people who need our prayers because our hands can't reach them. When we read about Gladys Aylward, William Carey, Mary Seltzer, Teresa of Calcutta, our hearts are stirred to the acts on the injustices that we see around the world before us, and we're given a glimpse of what people can do to change the world around them. In this moment in history, I don't think there's a better gift we can give our kids than seeing a human being empowered to do something about the injustices they see in the world. These Hero series books and Heroes of the Faith are a vital part of our Eastern Hemisphere Explorer reading time. What we need is examples of people who are doing something about the problems they see in the world today and doing it in a way that's powerful, impactful, and long-lasting. In Eastern Hemisphere Explorer, our children get a glimpse of the power of one person, one ticket, one choice, one meal. If a grandma, a warrior, a foot inspector can reform a Chinese prison, what can we do with our voice too? This episode is brought to you by the In Due Season course, where you can build your roadmap for your own personalized homeschool journey. Listen, beginnings are great, and planning for the end is satisfying, but the middle season of homeschooling can be a long and winding, uncharted road. I want to help ensure a strong finish by helping you live well in the middle. In Due Season is a course that helps you with practical lessons, life examples, and encouragement that will serve you from that anxious first day until the moment you walk your child down an aisle in a cap and gown, or send them back to public school because you've resolved the issues that you wanted to work on. Now, simple shifts in your school setup and challenging conversations is what the course is made of, specifically designed to have you get the very best outcome from your homeschooling year. The lessons cover relationship building, like showing love uniquely to your child, creating a school that fits your personal needs by helping you transform the way you approach teaching your children. I want you to create a personalized map that will last you your entire homeschool lifetime. So In Due Season course, where you can join us to explore several other vital and powerful truths that will ensure that this will be your best school year ever. My heart's desire is that you never lose sight of the end of the road in your homeschool journey. And we want to help ensure a strong finish by helping you live well in the middle. You can find out more about the In Due Season course at indueseason.net. Understanding geography and human expansion is another gift that we get in the Eastern Hemisphere Explorer, HBLF. Now, it gives us a corrective perspective on the map that our children in North America have been looking at all of their childhood. Now, the world across the Pacific and Atlantic Ocean is larger than they can imagine. Many of our historical roots, ancient ancestors, and family genealogies lie across those waters as well. Africa is referred to as the cradle of civilization. As we spend a full year studying China, Asia, Africa, and their surrounding countries and the people groups that live there, we discover rivers, falls, and cities that have been portrayed in famous movies and nature reels. These places are homes to the people that are living there right now. As we write these places down on our map and we learn about them more deeply, we're expanding the world of our children and acknowledging that as a part of the world they live in today. Familiarity to people groups that we have not crossed or encountered makes them a reality in our world before them. Now, my goal as a homeschool parent is for my children to see themselves as part of entire human history from the very beginning. Each culture, diverse location, and people group make up that world, an amazing and curious place to be explored. Take the reins of your child's worldview today. Make it bigger, broader, and more colorful than it ever was before. Now, I don't care what curriculum you use to do it, but Sunlight's Core F is one of the tools we're using to do that this year. Are you hungry for more? Well, stay tuned for more reasons why I'm excited about using Eastern Hemisphere Explorer for the third time in my homeschool to study China and more with my homeschool students. Do check out Sunlight Curriculum. They're celebrating 30 years of helping homeschool families discover the biggest world around them. Right now, they're giving away prizes through the end of September. Each week, you can enter in their contest for a prize. There's a new giveaway each Wednesday, and the grand prize is an all-subjects package of your choice from Sunlight. What a great gift for your homeschool. Enter the contest this week and be eligible for the prize today. That's all I have for this week. Thank you for giving me your time and listening to what I have to say about using Sunlight Curriculum as a tool to expand our worldview, discover new places, and take away the fears that we're seeing in the news today by becoming familiar with the real places that the news is presenting to our children. I hope you're encouraged and come back to hear more about how I'm using this core to change my children's worldview, but also prepare them for higher level high school work. We'll talk more about that in the next episode. Have a great day.